am I excited to be giving you guys this information? I think excited is an understatement, all right? So, E3 was a couple of days ago, and I'm pretty sure that you've heard by now that Breath of the Wild is getting a sequel. Breath of the Wild 2, that's what we'll call it for now. And the trailer, the announcement for the game, which is what you're looking at now, left us with so many questions like when is it going to be released? Is it a new game or is it an add-on to the game? Because we did see at the end there was the same map as the normal game. So is this an add-on or is this an entirely new game because of the fact that it said in development? Well, let's talk about these questions and try to come up with some answers. So there are many reasons why I think that this is an add-on to the main game, and there are also many different reasons to why I think that this is an entirely new game. So as you see right now, the map is exactly the same from the first game. But then it goes on to say that there is a game in development, a completely new game. So taking Nintendo's vague words, we got to assume that this is a full-on game. However, the only new thing that I saw from the trailer was there's a tomb that Link was traveling with an elephant on. And let's talk about an elephant because I saw two or three new things. First off, the Ganon, right? The Ganon looked completely different. In my opinion, it looked completely different from when we last saw him in the normal Breath of the Wild game, right? He's not a large spider by any means. It looks like he has two arms and it looked like he was hooked onto something, right? The second thing was an elephant. So Link was only able to ride large horse. The largest thing that you could ride on was a horse in Breath of the Wild, right? And now we see Link with an elephant, and it seems that he's carrying things on the element. I said element. Elephants, okay? So this leads me to believe that you can store things on an elephant, but another thing is that there probably will be new animals, NPCs, and there probably will be some new enemies as well, which is very exciting to talk about. There was also a rat in the trailer, and it got corrupted by Ganon's malice. So maybe a rat would be a normal NPC, or not an NPC, an animal, and then there would be a different version of that rat, which would make it an evil rat. I mean, it's kind of the same concepts with the Guardians. It was they were good. They were used to protect Hyrule, and then the malice corrupted them, and now we all have Guardian PTSD. You know, because whenever you hear that sound, the Guardian is targeting you. But what if that happens with every animal, right? So let's say a deer, for instance, it could be fine, and then or a goat because you just saw that. Let's say a goat, for instance, it'll be fine running away from you when it spots you. The 5% of the time it'll charge at you, right? What if there is an event that takes place in the game that causes malice to spread throughout the entire world, not like the main game, like you're sitting there witnessing it in game, right? And then everything, all of the creatures become filled with malice. It's just a very cool concept to talk about. In the trailer, we see Link and Zelda, but if you look closely, they are wearing new gear. And so there most likely will be new gear, given that if this is an entirely new game. If this is an entirely new game, there will be different sections. I think, all right, here's what I think. They will be add-ons to each section, right? There'll be different it'll be the same map, but there will be a lot, kind of like Fortnite. There will be a lot of changes, updates, things like that, you know. And there will also be new food, continuing with what I think there will be. New recipes. I hope that there's a cookbook because that was the main thing that was missing in Breath of the Wild. I meant to make that video in 2017 when my videos were trash. But anyways, new abilities, right? On the top left of my screen, you can see 3 abilities I've disabled. Whatever the Goron's protection. I forgot. Please forgive me. It's been a while since I played Breath of the Wild. But I disabled it because it was a shield that would come on. And sometimes when you try to dodge or when you try to deflect something, you know, that protection would just get in your way and it would count as 1 out of 3 being used up that had to recharge within 10 minutes of playtime. and it was kind of a noobish of an ability, right? I mean, there are others which is beneficial, but that one was kind of newbie. You know what I'm saying? So I disabled it. But my point is, what if there are different enemy or energies that you can use as perks, such as that? I forgot the exact name of those, but that would mean that there'd have to be different divine beasts, right? I mean, Ganon's on respawn, and if we're talking about map changes, there has to be different divine beasts, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there'll probably be new shrines on top of divine beasts, and, yeah, there'll be a bunch of new things and everything. So, here, that was speculation. Here's some questions that I have. Master Mode was the most tedious thing I could ever think of, okay? Trying to do that DLC thing on Master Mode? What? The first DLC, the Sword Trials. I was like, what is this? So, on top of the Sword Trials, right? This is DLC to the first game, right? First off, will the DLC carry over into the sequel? Because I think it's going to be an add on the same map, you know? So, will it carry on into the next game? Or is there going to be entirely new DLC in the new game? Which would make sense if it's a new game. But, given the fact that, let's stick with the idea that DLC will carry over into the new game. And let's say that I completed all of the Master Sword Trials, right? And I have 60 damage on my sword. And if I go to the Hyrule Castle and my sword is powered up, will it go to 120? All right, instead of staying at 60, will it go to 120? If you guys are an OG true Breath of the Wild fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That was just a personal question of mine. Now let's get into some more general questions. All right. Also, with the Breath of the Wild DLC came with a bunch of different outfits. Right. There was outfits that you'd get from completing the game, but then there's those DLC outfits like the ancient, the Guardian outfit, right, or the Ganon outfit, right? So will Breath of the Wild 2 be completely ditching those outfits, or will it include everything from Breath of the Wild plus add-ons, saying basically making there being no point in Breath of the Wild anymore, just completely evolving from Breath of the Wild into this new game? I understand that this is still going to be in development for the Nintendo Switch. First of all, can we not put this game on the Wii U, please? I just don't understand why Breath of the Wild, such a good game, was on the Wii U. And I love the Wii U. Go back on my channel. I have more Wii U videos than I do Switch and PS4 videos, right? But I just don't think that it should... a game that's complementing the Nintendo Switch should also be able to be on the Wii U, right? But given the fact that this is on the Nintendo Switch, the new game, right? Will there be a graphical update, right? Because, I mean, I love the game to death. That didn't sound right. But, I was getting a little annoyed with the pencil stroke graphics, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just felt like the next game would have added a lot of in-depth, more... I felt like with the next console, along with the sequel to Breath of the Wild, I just felt like it would be more of a graphical... It would be the same as Breath of the Wild, but with just mean graphics, right? So we still see the pencil stroke graphics in the trailer. Will it be a graphical update in terms of power, or will they carry out the same graphics? Also, will there be different quests, or are they going to be the same quests? Can I have a different glider than that glider that the old man gave me from the beginning of the game, or can we customize the glider like we did the outfits? I mean, all this time playing Fortnite after I completed Breath of the Wild, you know what I'm saying? Breath of the Wild is why I missed the Season 2 and 3 Battle Pass, okay? Alright? So, let's just put it like that. We need different gliders in Breath of the Wild too. But now, if we are gonna have new missions, that is gonna be more broad, because you got so many different things from completing the mission, right? So, map changes, you can unlock different portions of the map. Will there be new weapons? You know what I'm saying? Can you customize your weapons? I'm just curious, because given the fact that this is an entirely new game, we should probably see entirely new features and entirely new functions, right? Breath of the Wild gave us... This is why this is probably the best game of all time. That's for another video. All right, no debating in the comment section. It gave us something that we weren't used to. It was open world gameplay, but it was so versatile. Everything was so, you can interact with so many different things. What if we got more interactive, right? What if we had multiple houses? What if we can actually do things in the house? What if we could cook in the house? You know, we could assort different things within the house, you know what I'm saying? Everything in Breath of the Wild was good, but there was, again, so much more that they missed out on in terms of modernness, right? I don't know if that's a word, but yeah. Finally, this has something to do with animals, right? Can there be different kinds of food that you get from, and first of all, let's add in more animals and put them in more specific regions throughout the maps, right? So let's change up the animals per region because I'm seeing wolves everywhere. But can there be different foods that you drop, right? So as you saw, I got seared prime steak from killing a wolf with a meteor rod, right? Can there be something called wolf meat or whatever? I'm just curious, right? And there be more interactions between the animals, right? So what if we saw, I mean, we see wolves chasing boars and everything, but can we see like wolves, I don't know, killing boars? And then we scare the wolves off or whatever, and then we take the food for ourselves. And like I said, can we see more of what made Breath of the Wild so great in the first place? Interaction, right? So that's it for me, guys. What do you think? I really want to know what you think down in the comments down below. Subscribe to this channel and like the video, or else you're done for it, right? Like, you already watched the video, I have your information, it's done for it. And finally, one more thing, Nintendo, can we make a deal for or with Fortnite, right? So we can have Breath of the Wild skins in Fortnite, please. Thank you. See you. That music is creepy as hell, by the way. I don't know what they were thinking.